shelf. You know, certain things fit into it, certain things don't. And I was looking at it one day and I thought, oh man, after playing the game for a couple hours, I looked over and I thought, you know what, this will just be amazing to be filled with Skyrim things, like just like the game. Of course, my mind ran wild all night long thinking about how I could make an alchemy table and a table for just different things like we do in the game. But I don't know. I don't think we have the room, and that just might be going overboard. But you never know, right? Got to have a hobby. Problem is, I have too many hobbies. So I'm pretty excited about the Elder Scrolls game coming out too. I'll be honest, I'm not the world's best video game player. I really do enjoy video games, but I enjoy like first-person games where it's kind of mostly myself. So I'm interested to see how I'm going to like the Elder Scrolls Online. I really wanted to get into the beta, but unfortunately I didn't get picked for it. So whoever did get picked for it, screw you. Just kidding. But hopefully I'll get to play that as soon as possible. All right, so our second coat is on our book. Looking good, looking good. Let me check our time. Right now it is 9:27. So we started at 8 o'clock. We're doing pretty good right now. I'm going to put this book right here, switching back over to my bottle, and our giant toe is perfectly on time. Grab my pan holder. Yeah. Looking good, looking good. Ah, yes, our bear claws look perfect. They're perfect hardness, you can see there. Our giant's toe is super hard on the outside. I'm sure the inside's still a little doughy, but that's okay. The idea is that we're showing you how to do this, okay? So as you can see there, I'm going to go ahead and throw mine in the freezer and hope that gets cool enough so that by the time we're done with the book, we can start working on these and finish this up. No. All right, and it should be noted, in case, I don't know, you're 3 years old and you've never cooked anything before or used a freezer, that don't put something directly hot into the freezer on the actual freezer itself. Put something else in there that you can protect your freezer with, and don't put it on top of anything that's going to melt. Because I don't want anybody writing me and being like, you son of a, you melted all my meat. No, that's not my fault. Don't put it on top of stuff that's frozen. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start working on the color, the second coat of this color here. So now we got that brighter red in the center. Same thing, we're going to drag that color up like that. Drag it, drag it, drag it. See how we're starting to get a little bit of a dimension to this? I'm using this kind of acrylic that I'm not too fond of, the thinner kind, because that's okay because it's a coat. When we use a base, it's a lot harder to get that down and have the other paint, I guess, take it seriously and stick to it if you use a thinner base coat. So that's a lot of time when you're painting, you use real thin coats. Ooh, I don't like that. Got that moss stuck in there. That's okay. Fix that in a moment. Okay. All right. Looking good, looking good. Go ahead and moving this now around so we add more color to it. That's great. difficult, so I don't know about you guys, but I have to find a better way to do this in the future. Dragging that color up more. Dragging it, giving it that dimension. Got a little scratch there, but I'm going to fill that in later anyway with one of those crisscrosses. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not, but I tried to put on some Skyrim-ish music in the background. I'm not sure if it's transferring very well since I can't really hear myself. Hopefully it's enjoyable and not distracting. All right, so we got our our second coat of that one on. I kind of like this slight streaking effect that's going on. It kind of looks like expensive glass. It's not quite as smooth as in the game, but that's okay. It's going to take a couple of coats to do that. And still drag that color up and down. Okay. When you get a chance, don't forget to paint the lip at the top. If you have a lip on yours, kind of the inside there, try to smooth it over a little bit. This is proving to be more difficult glass to paint on than other surfaces. Usually it's glass is kind of a pain in the butt, but that's just the nature of glass. Okay. All right, so this one we're going to push aside again. I'm going to go ahead and check my moss, see how it's doing. Ah, great. Barely anything's falling off of that anymore. That's terrific. Our shake and bake worked real well. I'm going to go head over here and check on my computer. All right, now that we have that going, I'm going to go ahead and take a short sip break here. Oh my goodness. And if you guys are watching tonight or in the future, and you have some requests for a game that you'd like to see Player One play, or if you have anything you'd like to see me make from the game, let me know. I can try to recreate it. Depends. My little sister is requesting me to make some Diedrich artifacts, so I might be working on that in the future. Like I said, I also want to work on the Wabbajack as well. Here, and I think after this, after we do some more spell books, we're not going to do a spell book every week, because once you do one, you kind of know how to do one. But if we do a spell book every week, we'll add some other things in, we'll do something else. So maybe we'll do that. Depends. You guys can let me know what you want. All right, so now we have this blue base on here. It's pretty well coated. Our inside hasn't been really painted. We're not too worried about that. So you got that. Move that aside a little bit. Now, we have a lot of blue paint left, and that's fine. That's good, actually. We are going to go ahead and make a kind of muddy color now, a muddy blackish brownish, but we're not going to use that brown. Instead, we're going to take some of this blue here that we already mixed, and we're going to kind of dump it onto this plate here. Like so. Not all of it. And obviously, the more you spread paint out, the faster it dries, the thinner it is. So we don't want to use all of it. We want just a little bit left on there because we need a touch up. So we're going to be starting the stippling effect. And let's try adding, if we add red to blue, it's going to turn into like a purpley color. This is kind of a thinner red, and it's supposed to be, it's cadmium red. It's a medium hue. We want some of the brilliant red. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this color from Reeves. And then I'm going to use, I think, maybe a dash, maybe just a dash, just a little dash of this black after all. Just to darken it up quicker. Normally we don't do that. We just adjust our color as we go along. But just a little dabby dab to see how it goes. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and mix those together. See what that gives us. Yeah, that's getting a little bit closer to what I'm looking for. It's kind of a bluish, like, I guess you could say kind of a dark blue-purple. It's kind of one of those colors that you'd see in a sunset when it's about to get rainy out and like there's a storm cloud coming. So I like that. I'm going to add a little bit more black again, just a little bit. That thicker Reeves black. And dirty that up. Oh, there we go. Dirty, dirty paint. It's good. Okay. And if we look next to that, it's a little bit darker. I feel like it's nice. It's a nice darkness, but I'm going to go ahead and dirty it up a little bit more by adding in, how about we try a little bit of this brown that's over here. Where is my brown? I thought I had a brown. Maybe I don't. I thought I had just a regular brown. I guess not. All right, well, we'll just add a little bit more black. Breaking all the rules today to art. Somewhere my art teachers are crying. All right. That's good. More dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Okay, so now we have that right there. I'm going to go ahead and put my brush in the water so it can sit a couple moments. Now I'm going to put a plain old black on the side over here. I'll show you why I'm doing that. I'm going to use the thicker black, okay? It's cleaned off. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be using something in the blue spectrum anyway. Okay, that's good. Now, since we have this kind of dirtier blue, this is so bright, it's almost like a quasi-royal blue. We don't like that. I mean, we do, it's good for a base, but that's not the end result we're looking for. So we want to keep that there. I'm going to move some of these paints over. Now it's time to get out this brush, your crazy brush, the one that looks like it's Goku hair. Okay? This one right here. Your brush that went Super Saiyan. Okay? I'm going to take some of that and we're going to kind of dip it in here, gently like that, so that just the top is like that. All right? We're going to put our book at an angle, and we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to kind of brush up like this. I know you're saying to yourself, it kind of doesn't really look like that in the game. There's a reason for this. I'm kind of giving it a wear look. When you do things in real-life painting, or if you do things even in Photoshop, you do a lot of layers of things. You do a lot of kind of grunging up. You can take a look here. You can see it's starting to get a little grungy. It's got kind of a little bit of a wear and tear look to it. You can see that it's not too unnatural looking because we picked something that was a little bit of a dirtier hue, but it's still in the same kind of that blue spectrum, not too out of range that it looks unnatural or fake. It's hard not to want to overpaint something. Oh, see, and I just made a little scratch on the book there because I pressed down too hard. It's okay. Like I said, it's not anything that can't be fixed. That particular area there is just going to be a little bit darker. That's fine. Okay. Go ahead and drag that all up over your book. Same thing.